Hey, this is Dizzy Reed from Guns N' Roses, and you're watching GNR Central. Yeah!
Hey everybody, what's going on? And welcome to GNR Central. And we got some news today, so I want to thank Christopher for sending me this. Like I said, I'm not a huge Eddie Trunk fan. I don't listen to his show that often, but people do send me clips from time to time. So there was an interesting caller that Eddie Trunk had on a show recently from this month who claimed he had a friend who actually grew up with Axl Rose and was trying to get in touch with him and knew Axl before Guns N' Roses, like before, I think it was around the time that he was in Rapid Fire. And apparently Axl was trying to get in touch with this guy too. So here's the exchange that Eddie Trunk has with this caller. And you guys can check it out and enjoy. And then after this, I'll play you guys a clip from Eddie's show where he talks about Slash doing the right thing when it came to Guns N' Roses and with his band, The Conspirators, when comparing them to Judas Priest and Deep Purple.
Havoc in Indiana. Hi, Havoc.
Hey, what's up, Eddie? Thanks for taking the call, man.
Sure, man. Go ahead. What do you got?
All right. I got probably the biggest untold story of all time. Dude's name's Jonathan Montgomery. We went to school together. And he met Bill Bailey, a.k.a. Axl Rose, when he was like 12 or 13 years old. Now, Jonathan's tried to contact him several times, and Axl actually had people try to find him over the years several times. Jonathan's contacted Axl recently, and we have got no reply. It's been total silence from his management team and from the band. Now, the thing is, Jonathan, when he met Axl, they met about 2 o'clock in the morning in our hometown of Lebanon, Indiana, which is...
Hold on. Havoc. I gotta stop you there. Hold on a second. I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about a guy that went to high school with Axl Rose trying to contact him?
No. The guy that I went to high school with actually had met Axl Rose in our hometown prior to the forming of Guns N' Roses. He was in a band called Rapid Fire with Kevin Lawrence at the time. And when Jonathan met him, he was getting ready to leave Rapid Fire and start what would become Guns N' Roses. So the night they met, they had been sitting on the town square for about 2 or 3 hours coming up with the ideas for what was to become Guns N' Roses, coming up with lyrics, stage persona, all this stuff. And you know, the stage character of Axl Rose. Now, Jonathan, for the past year, has been trying to contact Axl, and he has been silent about the situation. However, Axl, over the past 15, 20 years, has tried to find Jonathan. Well, Jonathan,
so what is the problem? Hold on. If Axl's trying to find this guy and this guy's trying to find Axl, why isn't he responding?
We don't know. It's a long story. If you want to talk to Jonathan, he's here right now. He can tell you everything.
Havoc, honestly, man, and I hate to do this to you, man. Because I'm hearing feedback on your phone, and it's way too convoluted for me to get into. I've heard, and I wish you all the luck trying to contact. I can't put people together like that. You're talking about guys when they were 14. You're talking, 30, 40 years ago, 40 years ago. I mean, I don't know I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. You just had about 2 minutes to tell your story on national radio. So let me leave it at this. If Axl Rose is trying to get in touch with somebody, he's going to get in touch with you. He's going to find you. He's going to track you down. If Axl Rose wants to talk to your friend, he's going to respond. If your friend has a case of some sort when it comes to music or publishing or copywriting, very simple. Universal Records, contact the label. Contact the publishing company. Just Google it. Contact them. If there's any dialogue to be had, but I don't know what to tell you about 14-year-olds sitting in a park, before he was Axl Rose. I mean, I'm not saying it's not true or you don't have but there's nothing I can do about that. That's just, there's no connection to the audience for that. All of these guys started somewhere. I get it. But if you feel there's some due credit or something, then you go through the proper channels. And if they want to talk, great. And then if you got a legal case, get a lawyer. I mean, I don't know what else to say.
Then in this clip, Eddie Trunk is talking about Judas Priest versus Deep Purple. And he discussed the catalogs of both bands, as well as he brought up Slash's name in Guns N' Roses and some of the venues he's choosing to tour in and how Slash is doing the right thing. with his current tour with the Conspirators. So here's the clip.
You know who's doing it right now is Slash. Slash is coming off of playing megadomes arenas with Guns N' Roses, right? He could probably now on his own tour be in bigger places here in the U.S. than he is. But he's not. He's doing theaters. He's doing House of Blues size venues, probably 3,000 to 4,000 size venues. Guess what? Every one of them is sold out. Every one of them. You rather do that, or you rather go into a building that holds 10, 12,000 and you got to hear about everybody dumping free tickets and look at a giant curtain covering sections of the building? I don't know. I know how I feel as a fan, and I know how I would feel if I was repping these bands. I wouldn't want people calling saying, yeah, the place was empty and people were leaving and this and that. It's just not a good look. But it happens for a variety of reasons. Now,
and then we got some more news about Axl's appearance on Looney Tunes. So we found out that it was in fact him singing on the song, and it was him who did the voiceovers for his character. But then we also learned that Guns N' Roses producer and their sound guy, Karl M, who also was a co-producer on Chinese Democracy, helped mix the track, according to one of the moderators on the MyGNR forum. I know some of the people on the MyGNR forum have an open dialogue, or at least they talk to Karl M from time to time. So that's just a little more tidbit for you guys who are interested in that appearance. And if you guys want to listen to the song, I think Vimeo is probably your best. So Vimeo, and you just search Rock the Rock or Axl Rose Looney Tunes, you should be able to find the song. But fans are still waiting for a high quality version of it to come out online. So turning now to some non-GNR news, I found this article kind of interesting. That's why I'm talking about it, and I posted it on GNRCentral.com. So Joe Elliott of Def Leppard, who are going to be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame next year, gave an interview where he basically said that he would rather collaborate with Taylor Swift than Bon Jovi. So Def Leppard has, in fact, recorded a collaborative track with Taylor Swift. At least they've played together. And he said that recording with Taylor Swift in 2008 was a more valuable exercise than it would be recording with Bon Jovi. So the British band worked with Swift on an episode of CMT's series Crossroads, which pairs country artists with musicians from other genres. So the performance includes Def Leppard's tracks Photograph, Hysteria, When Love and Hate Collide, and Pour Some Sugar on Me. Now, the whole thing came together because somebody walked into our dressing room with a laptop. Elliot told Rolling Stone in a new interview. He goes, "It's Taylor Swift. She's doing this interview, and she said the only band she would ever do Crossroads with, and it was Def Leppard." We went, "Wow, okay, we'll get in touch with her, see what she thinks." Lo and behold, a couple of months go by, and all of a sudden, we're doing this show. He continued, "We've always been that poke noses out of the joint kind of band. I love the idea of something that's going to either piss people off, or they go, good for you for doing something different. If they're going to do collaborations, I don't see the point of us doing a song with Bon Jovi. It's like I'd prefer the idea of John Bon Jovi doing a song with Tom Waits, us doing something with Loudon Wainwright 3 or Leonard Cohen, something completely off the wall, or Elvis Costello and Motorhead. Can you imagine what that would sound like?" So ahead of Def Leppard's confirmation of induction into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Elliott recalled the advice Bon Jovi gave him about the experience, saying, "It's not really going to change my life, really, one way or the other, but Bon Jovi has been telling me for the last 12 months that yes, it will." We also had an interesting article from Loudwire. So we finally figured out which bands had the biggest rock album debut of 2018, and it's probably not who you were thinking it was going to be. So according to Loudwire, Dave Matthews had the biggest rock album debut of 2018, which is pretty shocking. So rock music's commercial position was the center of many debates in 2018, and this may be one of the year's most interesting stats. So Dave Matthews Band's first album since 2012, Come Tomorrow, debuted at number 1 on the Billboard Top 200 charts with a total of almost 300,000 album equivalent units. Of that set, 285,000 were traditional sales, and it was the biggest sales week for a rock album in 4 years. So to basically put that feat into context, the nearest traditional rock release to the Matthews Band was Breaking Benjamin's new LP Ember, which sold about 88,000 units in its debut week. 80,000 of those were traditional units. Right behind that was Greta Van Fleet's impressive debut LP Anthem of the Peaceful Army, with about 87,000 equivalent units sold in its first week, of which 80,000 were traditional units for that set as well. Now, one thing that should be noted is that Matthews capitalized on an album ticket bundle to bolster their first week numbers. So any fan who bought concert tickets was given the option to redeem a copy of Come Tomorrow, and many artists have started utilizing this tactic in recent years. Is it possible that Guns N' Roses could do something similar if they release a new record in the future? I guess we'll have to wait and see. So behind Matthews in 2018 came Mumford & Sons' Delta album, which moved a total of 230,000 units. Additionally, Panic at the Disco, Paul McCartney, 21 Pilots, Jack White, and Fall Out Boy all placed between Matthews and Breaking Benjamin, with 2019 shaping to be rock and metal's biggest year in recent memory. It'll also be interesting to see what numbers Slipknot, Rammstein, and hopefully Tool, among others, will put up. So if you guys want to see the top 50 bands who will be releasing albums next year, you guys can head on over to Loudwire, and I think it's like on the front page. So 2019 may be a pretty big year for rock music. So that does it for today's video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and go check us out on GNRCentral.com for the latest Guns N' Roses news as it breaks. Take care.